friends, welcome back to my channel Beyond Dentistry. Today, I'm Akanksha Gupta is here with another new video on the topic of dental caries. So, if you liked my video, please like, share and subscribe. So, let's get started. Dental caries. What is dental caries? Dental caries is a multifactorial microbial infectious disease characterized by demineralization of the organic substance and destruction of the organic substance of the tooth. So in this definition we have to learn only the one thing, that is demineralization of the inorganic and destruction of the organic substance of tooth. So now etiology of dental caries. So there are four factors required to form the dental caries. That is, first one is plaque and microorganism, substrate, time, host. Now plaque and microorganism. In microorganism, that is most important microorganism is Streptococcus mutans, which is mostly responsible for dental caries. Substrate as diet, time as time, you all know, and host and teeth. So we as all four essential for caries formation. Okay, as you see in the diagram, without all the factor, caries does not initiate or even progress. So as this diagrams known as Newburn's tetrad. Okay. However, next is classification of dental caries. Now, classification of dental caries is given by different authors. Like first one is G.B. Black, WHO classification, and we have Sturtevant. Sturtevant is again divided into three: location, rate, extent. Now I'm going to explain these types of. Okay. Now next, according to location, that is primary caries, pit and fissure caries, smooth surface caries, backward caries, forward caries, residual caries, root surface caries, secondary caries. Later on, I will all explain this. Now, according to extent, that is reversible caries, irreversible caries. Now, according to rate, that is acute caries, that is rampant caries, and chronic caries, that is arrested caries. Now, G.B. Black classification. Class 1 states that all pit and fissure restoration that involve all pit and fissure restoration, occlusion surface of molar and premolars, and occlusal two-third of buccal and lingual surface of molar, and lingual surface of anterior teeth. As this diagram state that we have only a pit and fissure restoration on posterior teeth, and in anterior we have only lingual surface. Now class 2, which states that restoration on proximal surface of posterior teeth, that is class 2. Now as you seen in the diagram, there is only black part is described as cavitation or restoration, whatever. So this explains the proximal surface of posterior teeth. Now class 3, proximal surface of anterior teeth that do not involve the incisal angle. Now, as you see in this diagram, there is only a restoration on the surface. Incisal edge does not involved. While in class 4, proximal surface of anterior teeth that do involve. In this, we have involved on incisal angle. That is class 4. Now it's class 5. Okay. Restoration on the gingival third of the facial or lingual surface of all teeth are class 5. As this diagram explains very well, that there is a gingival third of the facial or lingual surface, all teeth, in all teeth, that is class 5. Now class 6, restoration on the incisal edge of the anterior teeth or occlusal cusp height of posterior teeth. In this, only the occlusal cusp height, as you seen in the diagram, only the occlusal cusp height of posterior teeth. Now, according to WHO classification, that is D1, enamel lesion with intact surface. Now D2, cavitation, cavities limited to enamel. D3, cavities in dentine. D4, lesion extent into the pulp. As this is mentioned in this diagram, enamel which only that is black part is caries that only touch the enamel, that is D1. Now it goes in the enamel, extend to enamel, that is D2, moderate. Now cavity which extend in the dentine, that is advanced, and severe where the pulp involvement, as you seen in this diagram. Okay. Now, pit and fissure caries. What is pit and fissure caries? As the name suggests, pit and fissure caries is area where pit and fissure area, only the pit and fissure area. As pit and fissure caries is most common just because when we brush our teeth, uh, these are the small area where our toothbrush doesn't clean properly. So pit and fissure caries. Now smooth surface caries. Smooth surface caries, it occur any surface of the tooth, like any surface as you seen in this. Okay, now linear enamel caries. It occur on labial surface of anterior teeth. Okay, only towards the labial surface. Now incipient caries. Incipient caries is where occur it occur only in enamel, where we see white patch on the enamel. As you seen in the diagram only the white patch is visible, that is incipient caries, where differential diagnosis of incipient caries is fluorosis. So you have to remember this, that there is white patch seen in the incipient caries. Root caries. Now, root caries, what is root caries? Root caries, as a name suggests, it occur only on the root. That is, root caries occur in cemento-enamel junction or in cementum. Okay. Now, rampant caries. What is rampant caries? Basically seen in children's. It will be two teeth or more than two teeth, as this is seen in this diagram. Okay. Now, arrested caries. uh, Arrested caries is a next stage of incipient caries, where in incipient caries we see only the white patch, but in arrested caries we see a pigmentation which is brown in color. As you see in this is pigmentation of brown color. Okay. Now recurrent caries. Recurrent caries is, so let's suppose if you have done any restoration. Okay, suppose not done well, that not done well. So if some caries part remain there, so any remaining part, there is a caries progression. After restoration, this will caries extend, that is called recurrent caries. Okay, now radiation caries. What is radiation caries? As the name suggests, it will caused by radiation. If patient is high in a if radiation is high in a patient, then this types of caries is visible, like a patient go through any x-ray or any type of radiation, this type of caries is seen. Now nursing bottle caries. Nursing bottle caries basically occur on those children who feed bottle breast while sleeping. It occur only in the maxilla. Mandibular are protected. Mandibular doesn't affect it well because a tongue is covered over the mandibular teeth. So there is no caries in the mandibular arch. Okay. Now adolescent caries. Adolescent caries is occur mainly at the age of between 4 to 8 years, as you see. Okay. Now geriatric caries. Now it occur in the age of 50 and above, because in old age patient, recession is seen. Okay, so now because of recession, cementum displaced. As that time comes, caries occur in that part. Okay, in that part caries occur. This type of caries we call genetic caries. Okay, now as you go, okay, as the decay gets longer, tooth decay gets longer, it may cause sign and symptoms such as, first one is toothache, spontaneous pain keeping you from sleeping, or inconsistent sharp pain without an obvious case, that is toothache. And second one is tooth sensitivity, occurrence of tenderness or pain particularly when eating or drinking something hot, sweet and cold, that is called tooth sensitivity. Now treatment of tooth depends on how serious the condition is. Now this is a flowchart. Now I'll explain this. This side is for adult patient and this is for children's. Now if caries are present, okay, initial active caries, we need there is two type of caries, initial active caries and inactive. Then active caries, we need to two things, that is diet counseling, obviously in every manner. Second one is non-operating treatment. In non-operating treatment, we go varnish fluoride when we applied a fluoride over the tooth surface, and for 1 week for 4 application. Now, if that is in initial, then moderate active caries if seen, then non-operating treatment, sealing of caries lesion with resin sealant. Okay, if moderate, then it diet counseling is there. Now, in children's, extensive inactive caries lesion is there, okay, then we go diet and hygiene orientation. Is extended active caries, if there is active caries, then two types again, with pulp involvement and without pulp involvement. If pulp involvement is there, then there is also a pus, with pus or without pus. If with pus and that is ruptured, then we go on a tooth extraction. If doesn't, then we go on pulpectomy. Pulpectomy only seen in the only done in the pediatric patients. Now, if without pulp involvement, then we go a restoration treatment, that is aromatic restoration treatment. So here I'm done with my video. I'm done all the topics. Hope you like my video. Thanks for watching.